to the ranking member, FCC leadership for being here. I want to focus on three big things. The first has to do with corporate consolidation and costs. The second has to do with corruption and what tends to be, or oftentimes you find behind the consolidation of these companies. And the third is the overall issue of independence and the impact it has on the American people. When you all continue, or Mr. Carr, continue to approve the acquisitions of these big companies, which is the direction that I'm seeing the FCC take at the moment, we will see higher costs, right? I mean, when somebody controls the market, they increase costs on consumers, so cable costs go up, streaming fees, subscription fees. And the corruption piece is what obviously worries so many of us as we're seeing this play out. I'm going to just focus on David and Larry Ellison. David is the CEO now of Skydance Paramount, or Paramount Skydance, whatever it is. But Skydance was going after Paramount and CBS. In the midst of all of this, $16 million goes to Trump to settle this legal issue. $20 million goes to Trump for free ads. He gets all these editorial concessions. Larry, David's father, runs Oracle. Oracle is the OG of all of this. So in Trump's first term, Larry and David give a ton of money to Trump. And Larry gets a no-bid contract at the VA with Oracle. It's been an absolute disaster. And we have been trying to figure out how to fix it, spending tens of billions of dollars to try to deal with Oracle having been the wrong vendor. So the question I have, as you're the sort of traffic cop trying to figure this out and make sure that there isn't corruption, as you're looking at the deal now with David trying to go after Warner Brothers, how much, and this is just David and Larry Ellison, how much have David and Larry Ellison given to the Trump coin, Mr. Carr?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. How much money have they given to Trump businesses? Just Larry and David Ellison.
I'm not sure why I would know that information.
Last one, MAGA, the MAGA Inc., the big, super PAC. Do you know how much money they've given?
No, sir.
So the reason you should know, and the reason the American people should know, is because ultimately you're going to weigh in on these acquisitions, and there's going to be questions about whether or not there's corruption behind these corporate mergers. So it's really important for us to know how much these people are giving to the president. On the issue of independence, the concern is, and Ms. Gomez, just very briefly, what is the impact to the American people when we don't have an independent FCC? Just how does it hurt them?
It's important to have an independent FCC because we are an expert-driven body that is supposed to make decisions based on our technical expertise, and also to have the respect, both domestically and internationally, of those that we regulate and are those with whom we work. When we lose that, people will second-guess everything we do because they will just assume we are controlled by the whims of one person.
So to that point about the being controlled by the whims of one person, Mr. Carr, and this is where, you're probably going to hate this question, but it's a genuine question that we're all struggling with, is when we see the administration folks go out and do some of the stuff on behalf of the president, do you go after the media folks to keep Trump happy because that's what's key to keeping your job, or are you genuinely going to punish them for criticizing Trump?
The FCC has an obligation to make sure that broadcasters comply with their public interest obligations. Broadcast licenses, are not property rights, and there's things you can do to lose your broadcast license. Broadcasters are fundamentally different than any other forms of distribution, whether it's cable or podcast.
Yeah,
or soap
I'm going to
operas.
reclaim my time. I think it's probably a little bit of both, but either way, it is scaring Americans, and it's hugely problematic in terms of the future work of the FCC. With that, I yield back.
Thank you. Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Fluger, for 5 minutes to ask your question.